Hello guys, how are you?
I'm Hardeep Singh. Welcome back to your own YouTube channel. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test, and speaking, you got guesswork. Please, guys, participate in everyday listening and reading practice test to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Press the bell icon for the upcoming notifications. Don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page, IELTS updates and recent exams.
Part 1.
You're going to listen to a conversation between two people, a postgraduate student and an undergraduate student. First, look at questions 1 to 7.
Hi, I'm a research student in the Social Sciences department.
Yes?
Would you mind if I ask you a few questions to help me to complete this questionnaire?
Well,
Are you an undergraduate?
yes, I'm in my second year. Is this going to take long?
Well, no, it shouldn't. Do you mind?
No, not if it's quick. What time is it now?
It's 10 to 11.
I have a lecture at 11:15.
Well, it shouldn't take more than 5 minutes.
Oh, that's okay then.
Right, off we go. You're in your second year, right? Well, the questionnaire is anonymous, so I don't need your name, but I do need some other details.
Okay.
Which faculty are you in?
Humanities.
Oh, right, you're in the Hunter building.
That's right.
And what are you studying?
Chinese and Oriental Studies.
Chinese and Oriental Studies? All right. And what age are you?
I've just turned 19.
Do you live on the campus?
Yeah, I'm in one of the students' flats, so I don't have to do much travelling.
Okay. And which block are you in?
Ben Bradder.
How do you spell that?
B-E-N for nobody, B again, R-A-D, A again, then G for grow, and H.
Ben Brada. What's that named after?
It's a mountain in Ireland.
All right. You're quite a bit out. It's on the edge of the campus, next to the sports complex.
No, that's Mount Bure's house. We're on the opposite side of the campus, next to the Student Union building. Cornwall House.
Oh, yeah. I just need to ask you a few social questions, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Do you play any sport?
Yeah, squash, basketball, and football.
How often do you play squash?
Usually once a week.
So, say 3 to 5 times a month?
Yeah.
And basketball?
Usually twice a month.
Basketball, twice a month. Right. And how often do you play football?
I'd say at least twice a week.
So, about 8 times a month? Do you go to the gym?
No.
Right. And do you belong to any clubs?
The film club and amateur dramatics.
The film club. How often do you go?
Not as often as I'd like. I went loads last year, but this year I don't seem to have much time.
But how often? Say once a fortnight?
More like once a month.
Right, 1 to 2 times per month. And amateur dramatics?
Actually, at least once per week. And if we're rehearsing, it could be a couple of nights and all day, Saturday and Sunday as well.
Shall we say 6 to 8 times a month then?
It's more like 9 to 10 times.
Before you listen to the next part of the conversation, look at questions 8 to 10.
And how much do you spend on socialising per week?
I don't know.
Say 5%, 20%, 30% of your income?
I suppose I must spend 25%.
Is that typical of your friends as well?
I think so. We stick to the university, so it's cheaper. And the sports facilities are cheap as well. And the bar, of course, is subsidised.
And books. How much do you reckon you spend?
Not more than 10%. I borrow most of the books from the library when I can get hold of them.
Right. And what about accommodation and food?
I'd say 50%.
And what about the rest of your money?
Well, it goes on small luxuries, very small. What's this for anyway?
It's part of a study on the change in students' spending patterns as they progress from first year to postgraduate level.
Oh, right. I wish you luck.
Thanks. And thanks for your help.
No problem. Ah, look at the time. I must get a move on. See you.
That is the end of part 1.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 2.
You will hear a man talking about areas for growing vegetables in towns called allotments.
First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 17.
Good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to see so many of you. I was going to start by saying that more and more people are seeing the value of growing their own fruit and vegetables, but now I don't need to. First of all, let me say that whether you have a garden or not, there are all sorts of benefits to having a plot of land you can call your own, and it will give you a great sense of satisfaction. OK, let's assume you have a garden. Chances are it's small. Most gardens in cities are hardly big enough for a few pots of herbs and a couple of rows of beans. Now that's where allotments come in. A typical plot is around 250 square metres, big enough to feed the family for a year. Big enough, too, to grow a whole range of vegetables, fruit as well, perhaps, not just cabbages and potatoes. Moving on to the social aspects of an allotment. How many people can say their garden is a meeting place? You might chat with your next-door neighbour every now and again, but allotments are notorious communal hives. There are usually between 10 and 30 plots on any allotment site, and they bring together people from all sorts of social backgrounds. Where else do you find a lawyer deep in conversation with a lorry driver? There's often a great sense of camaraderie, with initiatives to involve the wider community, including the less able, the retired, and the unemployed. In urban areas nowadays, people may have a tiny yard or a balcony, but it's not a garden. An allotment is a huge recreational asset for anyone in that situation. First of all, there's the exercise. Renting an allotment costs around £30 a month. That's generally a lot cheaper than joining a gym. Then there's the involvement with nature. Watching seeds grow into mature plants gives so much pleasure and such a sense of achievement. Spending time outside in the fresh air boosts our mental as well as physical well-being. And one more thing. Don't forget allotments are also an enormous benefit to the environment. They provide invaluable green space in our ever more clogged-up towns and cities, making them more sustainable and appealing to live in. These spaces provide a habitat for wild plants, birds, insects, and occasionally bigger animals. What's more, Locally grown food doesn't have to be transported long distances, and that helps to reduce road traffic and hence pollution. Now, food. A subject we all like talking about, because the main appeal of an allotment is obviously taking home all the freshly picked vegetables and fruit. So why is Grow Your Own so good? Well, to start with, there's the superior flavour. Food you've grown yourself tastes infinitely better than anything bought in the supermarket because it will be super fresh. Another point in its favour is the range. These days, gardeners are growing an amazing variety of vegetables on their allotments. Finally, there's the bonus of knowing that the produce you've grown is organic. You know that what you're eating wasn't grown on an industrial-scale farm or sprayed with large amounts of pesticides.
Now you have some time to look at questions 18 to 20.
Now I'm going to show you a typical allotment from the site closest to here on Finley Road. Let me just get this image up. That's it. Can everyone see? So, as you can see here, each plot has a fence around it and its own gate. Between the beds are grass walkways. That means you can walk in and around comfortably and not get your boots too muddy. There are soil beds on either side. This plot, in fact, has two smaller flower beds opposite a much larger area for vegetables. And there's also a glass house for growing tomatoes or anything that needs more warmth and protection. Here you can see one of those at the front near the gate. Most allotments have their own shed at the far end, as you can see. Allotments do need a water source, though, and there are stone sinks outside the sheds. A hose pipe can be attached to the tap for easy watering. Some of the plots have a pond, though they're not always popular as they tend to attract insects. And this plot has a compost bin at the end opposite the shed for recycling organic waste. Right, so how to go about getting an allotment.
That is the end of part 2.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 3.
In this section, you will hear a conversation between Wolfgang and his new friend Mary, who has already been at the college for a few months. In the first part of the conversation, they're talking about a social activity program at college. First, look at questions 21 to 27.
Hi, Wolfgang.
Ah, Mary, how are you?
Oh, fine. How's it going? Have you just had a class?
Yes, I just finished my listening class. It was a little bit difficult.
Yeah. It's always difficult when you first arrive somewhere. I found it quite hard when I first arrived. But you know what really made a difference? Was going on these social activities that the college arranges for you. It kinda gives you a chance to practice your English, and
I've heard that the college is pretty good about organising those kinds of things. How do I find out about it?
well, I've just picked up a schedule today. Let's have a look at it. Here it is.
What is it? A schedule for this week or?
Yeah, let's have a look.
Okay, yeah. Maybe we can do some things together, in fact.
Yeah, that would be great. So,
Let's see. What are they doing tonight? Monday night?
well, they've got singing with guitar. So I went to this last week.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's quite good fun.
Is it pretty good?
Yeah.
What do they do? Do they have a concert or?
They teach you, modern and traditional songs.
Well, I'm not much of a singer, but,
Oh, come on. You should go. It's really good fun.
well, I suppose it'd be a good way to practice my English.
Yeah, 'cause you learn kind of British folk songs and things. It's really interesting.
Oh, but look at that. That starts at 8. But I notice at 9 o'clock there's a late night coach to Cambridge for a film. I think I'd want to go to try that. What time does this singing thing finish? Do you know?
Oh, well, usually it kind of lasts about 2 hours. But I mean, we can always leave earlier. They don't mind.
Oh, okay. So we can do both then?
Yeah, so
Right. So that's at 9 o'clock. Yeah.
what movie is it? Let me see.
Oh, it's Rocky. Have you seen it?
Rocky. Rocky? Oh, that's the one with Richard Dreyfuss, isn't it?
Richard Dreyfuss? No, it's Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, yes, I remember now. American movie. Yes, I haven't seen that. I want to see that. Good, let's go to that.
All right. Oh, okay. Oh, did you see on Tuesday that there's a tennis tournament?
Tennis? What time is that?
Well, that's at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Where is it? Is it on campus or?
No, it's at Wembley, so that's in London.
Oh, so it's pretty far away then. What time will it be coming back?
The coach gets back at midnight.
Oh, midnight. Well, tell you what, I think maybe I'd better cancel on that because I've got a class Wednesday morning, and I'm afraid at about 8:30. I'm afraid if I came back that late, I probably would. I'd be very tired in class, and actually, I'm more into football myself anyway.
Oh, football. Well, did you see there's a football match on Wednesday?
Oh yeah. Well, who's playing? Let's see.
Oh, it's England and Brazil.
Oh, I really want to see that. Would you like to go together?
Yeah, sure. What time is it?
Let me see. It says 15:30. So that would be 3:30.
3:30, huh?
Now, I have a lecture right after lunch on Wednesday at 1:30.
Uh-huh. What lecture's that?
Oh, well, there's a journalist coming from the BBC. He's going to talk about his experiences as a foreign correspondent.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Would you like to go?
Yeah, what time do you say it was?
Right after lunch, around 1:30.
Oh, 1:30. I have a class then. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, what time does your class finish?
It's an hour long, so it finishes at 2:30.
Oh, well, I shouldn't imagine. The lecture shouldn't go much later than that either. So after your class and after my lecture, we can get together to go to the football game.
Okay, so we can meet.
Let's see, maybe 3 o'clock, or maybe 3:15.
Yeah, I think 3:15 would be all right.
Okay, where should we meet?
Well, usually on these kind of trips, the coach leaves from in front of the dining hall, so maybe we could meet there.
Okay, so in front of the dining hall at 3:15. That sounds fine.
Yeah, right. On Thursday, there's an international evening in school hall.
Yeah, all songs and dances performance by students from all over the world. That's very interesting. Would you like to go and see?
Yes, when is it?
It will start at 8. Shall we meet at 7:50 in front of the school hall?
Fine, 7:50 in front of the school hall. Now listen to the second part of the conversation and answer questions.
Oh, and another thing I definitely want to do this weekend is to go and see. They're going to have a trip to Stratford on Avon. I think it's on. Let me see. What day is that? Friday. I think my roommate told me.
Oh, Friday?
Would you like to go to that?
Yeah, but are you sure it's Friday?
I thought that's what he said, but I might have been mistaken.
Well, usually these things are on weekends.
Right.
Let's see here. Oh, you're right, yeah, Saturday morning, 8:30.
Aha. Right, Friday's the disco.
Oh, disco.
Yeah. So actually I've arranged to go with some of my friends. So if you'd like to come along with us.
Oh, that would be very nice, yeah.
Yeah, you can meet some more students.
Oh, well, what time shall we go to that then?
Well, it starts at what time? 8:30, but we don't want to go too early. So let's say 9 or 9:30. Let's say 9:30.
Okay, yeah, we can meet there, but we'd better not stay too late because the Stratford thing is, pretty early in the morning. The bus will be leaving at 8:30.
Oh, yeah, right. So we want to make sure we get up for that.
Yeah, say, by the way, this trip, since it's, quite a way away, do we have to pay anything extra for that, or is it free?
Well, usually most of the trips are free. But, yeah, for these ones which are quite a distance away, then we usually have to pay a little bit extra.
Is it a lot, or...?
No, it's usually about £25, something like that.
Oh, well, do we have to tell them ahead of time that we're going to go?
Yeah, usually you have to sign up a couple of days in advance. So...
Oh, where do we do that?
Well, you do that at the Student Services office. So you have to go and see one of the social activities officers.
Oh, so I just tell them that I want to go, and to pay my money, and then sign my name. Well, I think I'll go ahead and do that today. Actually, I've got some free time right now. Do you know where I go to do that?
Yeah. It's the Student Services office. It's just across the road from here.
Oh, okay.
Well, across the kind of...
You mean the green building over there?
Yeah. So it's on the second floor.
Oh, okay. Well, tell you what, are you going to the Shakespeare thing?
Yeah, sure.
Would you like me to go ahead and sign you up as well?
Oh, yes, yeah, that'd be great. But, well, I haven't got any money on me at the moment.
Oh, don't worry about the money, that's fine. You can pay me back this evening. I'll go and sign us now, and then when I meet you tonight at the singing, you can, give me the money then.
Oh, well, if you are sure, that'd be great.
No, it's no problem.
Okay. Oh, is that the time? I'd better go. I've got a class. I'll be late.
Okay, sorry. I'll see you later then.
All right. See you tonight.
Bye.
Bye.
That is the end of part 3.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Now turns to part 4.
You will hear a lecture on time. First, you will have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. The subject of this series of lectures is horology, the science of measuring time, and we'll be looking at a few basic concepts in this lecture. The measurement of time has come a long way since ancient times. It began with such devices as the sundial, where the position of the sun's shadow marked the hour. Daylight was divided into 12 temporary hours. These temporary hours were longer in the summer and shorter in the winter, simply because the amount of daylight changes with the seasons. The earliest sundial we know comes from Egypt. It was made of stone and is thought to date from 1500 BC. Sundials were used throughout the classical world and, with time, evolved into more elaborate devices that could take into account seasonal changes and geographical positioning and reflect the hours accurately, no matter what the time of year. This was quite an achievement in technology. Today, sundials can be seen as decorative pieces in many gardens. In the 11th century, the Chinese invented the first mechanical clocks. They were large and expensive, and certainly not intended for individuals. However, this is the type of clock we are familiar with today. There have been many developments in clocks and watches since then, and they have been greatly improved. But if your clock or watch makes a ticking sound, then it could well be based on the mechanical movements the Chinese developed 1,000 years ago. However, timekeeping has moved on from the mechanical clock. Time has become so important that there is a series of atomic clocks around the world which measure international atomic time. Even though many countries have their own calendars, globalization has made it essential that we measure time uniformly. That we know, for example, that when it's 6 a.m. in the United Kingdom, it's 2 p.m. in Beijing. This standard was set in 1958. Now these atomic clocks are situated in over 70 laboratories all over the world. There is so much to cover about the development of time measurement that I would like to refer you to the reading list. The core text is The Development of Time, Theory and Practice, but there are many other useful texts. A good grounding in the subject is given in Understanding Time by J.R. Beale. Although some sections lack detailed analyses, it does offer a good foundation. Also, Time, Concepts and Conventions is quite a useful read. You might think from the title that it's about the philosophy of time, but this isn't the case. Rather, it gives a good description of how different countries have different approaches to time in terms of calendars and days. Lastly, The Story of Time by David Harris analyzes time in great detail, and I would recommend this book if you are aiming to specialize in horology. Now, we're going to continue with an in-depth look at lunar and solar cycles.
That is the end of part 4.
You now have half a minute to check your answers.
So guys, don't forget like, subscribe and share my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. IELTS updates and recent exams. For more updates related to recent IELTS exam writing test topics, listening, reading, practice test and speaking, you got guesswork. Please guys, participate in everyday new IELTS listening and reading practice tests to achieve your desired band score in your actual IELTS exam. For more IELTS material, visit my official website www.ieltsupdatesandrecentexams.com. The link is given below in the description. If you need PDF files of latest IELTS material, then please join my Telegram channel. So guys, please write your score below the comment section. Again, thanks for listening. God bless you all guys. Stay tuned, stay safe.